In this video, I'm going to write the hello program in Vala programming language. I have already installed the Vala compiler on my computer. Let me create a file with name hello.vala. .vala is an extension for the Vala language. Okay, let me open this in a text editor. Let me increase the font size so you can easily see. We are interested to print hello or text in a terminal. This hello word text or a string in a Vala should be written within a double quotes. So double quotes are for a string and single quotes are for a character. Okay. By default, this string will not going to print in a terminal. We need to invoke a method in a Vala, and the name of the method is print. This print method is a part of stdout object. So we need to write something like this: stdout.printf, and this is how you can write. Vala is one of those programming languages that requires semicolon to terminate the statement. So semicolon is here. This line is not going to be executed or compiled by itself. We need to invoke method called main. Main is a special one. This is from where the execution start, like we have in a C and C++. So we need to write something like this. Main should return an integer, and at the end of this method, we need to type return 0 like this. Let me add /n over here to print this hello world in a terminal. And this is our hello world program in a while. To run this program, what we need to type is we need to type Vala C and the name of the file. If everything works, we're going to see an executable with the same name of the file name, which is in our case hello, and we now have the hello world. As this program is working, I would like to take a few more minutes to write the same code, to print the hello world program, but in a different way. But in a different way. When I say in a different way, I would like to use few more language construct in this program. The first one is a variable. To define a variable, we first need to write type, then name of the variable, and then optional value using the assignment operator. Okay. If you want to print the value of this variable, we need to use the format specifier like we are using in a C and C++. And so format specifier for the string is s, and then the variable. Let's run this program again. Okay. And then let's see if this is working or not. And yeah, it is working. We are printing the same output, but now using a variable. I would like to go further and would like to define a method that actually print this hello world. And the name of the method is read like this. I would like to copy, cut this line from here, put it over here. Okay, as we are printing over here and we are not returning something, I would like to add void before the name of this method. Okay, if you are returning something, the return type of this method should be based on what you are returning. For example, it can be integer, float, character, or string, or whatever you are returning over here. In our case, it is a void because we are not returning anything. We are actually printing. Okay. The plan is we will going to get this name variable from where we are calling this. So we need to update this signature of method except name variable like this. Again, we need to define the type before the name of the variable. And then this to call this method, we just need to read followed by the parenthesis, and within a parenthesis we need to write the arguments. Okay, and over here we are going to pass the name argument to this method. Let's see if this work or not. Go again over here, and yeah, it is working. So again, we are printing this hello world, but now you know how to define a variable and how to define a method in a Vala. When you use a GTK with Vala, most of the time you will going to write the code in object-oriented way. So I would like to comment out this code. You can comment out you can write the single line comment like this, or you can write the multiple or a block comment like this. Okay, and yeah, it is okay. So in object-oriented way, we are going to define a class using the class keyword. the name of the class. The name of the class would be in a camel case, which is h, which is I have just defined here, and h is a capital. Okay, it is always good to define a class method variable with the access modifier, and in our case it is a public. Okay, over here you can define whatever you would like to define within a given class, but the one important method that we need to define is a main method. Okay, and then it is again integer. If that is the case, then I need to write 0, and then over here I can write the logic. For example, sorry, std out, I will let this less, and this is how you can. And yeah, we now have this main, but this will not going to work, because if you define a method within a class, you first need to create an object or the instance of the class, and then you can invoke the method. But this is a special one. We cannot create a class before running the program. So in this case, what we need to do is we need to mark this method as a static, so you can run this method without creating a class. And it is always good to define this with the access modifier. So we are now printing the hello world program from the main method within this hello class. Let's run this program and confirm if it is working. You can ignore this warning, but yeah, it is working. You can see that hello world is printed. Okay. To define a variable, again it will be the similar, like string name, and then like this. Okay. To print it, again it will be similar, like we did in print over here, and let's see if this is working. I suppose it should work, and yeah, we are seeing output. Let's define one more method like we define over here as a grid. Select grid, and void, and one more thing I need to write within a class is like access modifiers like this. Then let me cut it from this line from here and put it inside this. Let me update the definition of the method to accept a variable like this. Accept a parameter, sorry, not a variable, parameter like this. In order to call this method, I need to first create an instance of this class. To create an instance of the class, I need to write first the name of the object that I want to create, which is in our case hello, and the type of this instance is hello. Okay, and I can use a new operator. Okay, and using a new operator you can create an instance of the class. Before we go further, I would like to mention one thing. When you define a variable, an object of the class, you must need to define the exact type of that object. But if you know the initial value over here, you can use the var keyword. Okay, so the idea is simple. If you are defining an object or any variable, and if you know the initial value, you just need to type the var, and using inference, it will going to get the type from the initial value. Okay, so now we can call the method like this, and pass this over here. Let's run this program. We should see the same output over here, but now we are printing this output in object-oriented way using a method defined within a class. Before we go further, I would like to delete this code, because we now already have the working code for the hello world program in object-oriented way. Now, one thing that I would like to mention is like, this main method has nothing to do with the hello class, or nothing to do with the business logic of this hello. So we should remove this from here and put it outside of the class. Okay. If that is the case, then we don't have to worry about this public and static, because it is just a simple method. And let me put some modification for the okay. Okay, if this is the case, so it should again work, because we have this class, we are creating an object, and we are calling this method. Let's run this program again, and yeah, it is print the same output, but we have done a great amount of refactor or modification in our code to make it easy to read and make it easy to modify. Okay, this is fine. I mean, for now it is fine, we are passing this parameter to this method. Usually when we are creating an object, we normally pass this type of initial variable to the class when creating an instance. So in order to do this thing like this, okay, just greet the user, uh, just greet the user or just say hello to this name. Okay, this is much cleaner than what we previously write. But in this case, if this is the case, we need to remove this from here. But still, we need to say hi to this name. To do so, we need to use a concept called the constructor. Now, constructor is a little bit confusing in Vala. I'm going to cover this constructor in future, video as well. But for now, to define a constructor, it is quite simple. You just need to define a method with the same name as the class name. And again, this will be like this. So over here, the name of the class is hello, and name of the method is hello, and this is our constructor. Okay, this constructor accepts a name, so I need to write something like this. This name value will assign to a variable name of this class. Okay, but we do not have this variable over here, so let me define here string name. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, when I create an instance of this class, I'm going to pass this name, and name will going to assign this class variable or an instance variable. If we go specific with that, then we now have the name. We now have this value name inside this dot name. If that is the case, I need to modify this name over here with this, like with this keyword like this. Okay, and we now have the constructor. Let's run this program and confirm if whatever we do is correct or not. And yeah, it is working. So again, we are printing the same hello world in the terminal, but using a class, using a method, and using a constructor. Okay. One more thing I would like to mention over here before I complete this video, and that is, Vala contain two separate things. First is a class for whatever business logic, and the second is a main method. Now, main method is a special one that start the execution. This class might contain some business logic. So that ideally it should be written inside a two different file. For example, let's create a two file, hello.vala main. And the idea is, like, you can easily guess with the name of this file, like what we're going to contain. For example, hello.vala might contain a class with the name hello, and main.vala, as you can guess, it will contain the main method. Let me create these two files, and let me open this file in the text editor, and here it is. Let me increase the font size, and this hello.vala, I'm going to copy this class C, paste it over here, and let me open this main.vala in the text editor. Here we have the main.vala. I'm going to go again back to the existing file. I'm going to copy this main method from that file and put it inside the main.vala. Okay, so the code is now much more modular and easy to read over here as well. Okay, now go back to the terminal. Previously we were compiling and executing only one file, right? But the situation is different. Now we have multiple. In order to run the multiple file, what we just need to do is we need to write all the name of the file over here, like vala c, hello.vala, main.vala. There is a one change we need to do over here is, like, we need to mention the name of the executable. Previously what happened is there was only one file in execution. So Vala, intelligently take that file name and give it to the executable name. In our case, we have two files, so we need to mention the name of the executable. You can give any name, but hello is fine. After successful compilation, we should see hello over here, and let's select hello. And yeah, it is working. But now have we but now we have, you know, we have this code. This code include few things like class, constructor, method, class variable, main method, and this code is written inside the two different files. So that's it for this video. In next video, we will probably going to print the hello world again, but using a GTK library. But let's see. Thank you.